All I see before me, in my future, is a black precipice when America's torch of liberty is finally snuffed out once and for all, and we fully portray the ethos this nation was founded upon.
I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports.
He's not Hitler, he's not a Nazi, he's arguably worse.
Yo, what's up, guys? We're here live right now at the Fighting Oligarchy Tour in Bakersfield, California. I don't know if y'all can see this right here, but this is an official press pass. Capital P, full court press, member of the Fourth Estate, true American journalist. I haven't got one of these bad boys since Alien Con in 2019.
People, aliens are real.
Feels pretty good. Not sure what advantage I really have, but I guess I get to film inside, which is tight. I'm normally an outside, in the field kind of fella. Shout out to Kern.
Chad, what is a Bernie Sanders rally? How do you rally when you lost? I don't get it.
County's premier pediatric services. I'm not a kid and I'm not sick, but if I was, you know where the fuck I'd be at.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works.
Message, because this is America and we can go listen to what we want. I live here in Kern County, so someone's coming to Kern County. It's a public event. I want to come check it out.
How do you think Trump's been doing so far?
I'm not a fan of just
He's a
throwing
senator.
terms around. You know, you have to be real careful with that.
You think Bernie's an American patriot?
I think he is. They believe in this country. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I think he has the right to say it.
Bernie would win in 2016.
Dude, base that. Wait, this guy's gonna base it. No.
Bernie would win in 2020. Bernie would win in 24, and Bernie would win in 28.
Do you think he would have beat Trump?
In my heart. I don't know if we're there yet. It's really hard. It's the same thing with Kamala. I feel like to vote for somebody that people see as radical as Bernie Sanders is, and I don't know if he would have beat him.
He calls himself a communist.
Well, I don't know about that.
I am a socialist.
Socialist, yeah. And that kind of concerns me too, because
when it comes to socialism, you're just one step away from communism anyways.
I'm a capitalist, I'm a conservative, I'm not a socialist. I don't believe in socialism. Socialism has never worked in this world.
Well, I think social democracy has worked, but full-blown authoritarian socialism has always failed.
Right, but we are a...
Isn't technically Canada kind of socialism?
Constitutional republic. So that cuts against who we are as a nation, who our founding fathers
Sorry.
put out. We are a constitutional republic.
But do you think our founding fathers could have possibly imagined the level of tech?
Then Canada's the best
that
then.
would hoard resources and how little people would be getting paid to work for them?
I don't think our founding fathers could have imagined stoplights on corners. I don't think they could imagine
True,
4
actually.
or 5, you know, come on.
Yeah.
Who can imagine that? But why can't we solve that?
Yeah.
Why can't we solve the traffic congestion? Why? Because we aren't talking. We're talking at each other instead of with each other.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
Has a poor person ever gave you a job? I've
This
never
guy's
had a
not
job from
totally
a poor
dumb.
person. I've worked for large companies. I've worked for myself.
You know, when you get into
xQc,
ideologies, you're going to get this lock thing that we have. I think let's listen to solutions and put some solutions together for the American people.
What do you think's the biggest problem facing America right now?
A certain group of people.
The referees, the group of the referees at the NBA that rig this shit, that make bad calls and make the game unwatchable. That's what I say.
To play
That's what I
politics
say.
with our lives, to find the wedge issues that divide us instead of finding all the numerous ways to unite us.
What do you think are some of those wedge issues they've used to divide the common public?
You know, outside we're seeing, abortion is murder and this and that. Another one has to do with race, DEI programs.
Mexicans, Asians, whites. I'm a minority and as a white guy in the Central Valley. And I don't focus on that because, again, you know what? It doesn't matter.
My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense.
These are all values that we used to have as Americans that are being twisted and used against us.
That's obscene, and it distorts our ability to engage in civics, in true democracy.
You know, the Democratic Party is just a corporatist party, where the Republican Party is an oligarch party. No one is for the working class man or woman. Workers getting a share of the profits that they create. Used to be a thing that we had in America. Now it's a person's wealthy because they are smarter than, or they work harder, and we know that the lowest paid people are the more often than not are the hardest working people.
Do you think there should be this class of billionaires that hoard so much wealth when the minimum wage is so low in some states?
Well, I don't want to punish them for being successful. A good example of what I was just saying is Elon Musk. He doesn't sleep, 12 hours a day and then just mosey on into an office and expect something. The dude's in his factory sleeping on the floor saying...
Yeah, but we don't know that though. Dude, Chat, I understand that Elon probably was back then an extremely hard worker. It probably maybe still is, right? Just I haven't seen that come into play or like in recent times.
I'm gonna get the American dream. You know, it's like these people are complaining about 40 hours a week. Yo, I don't want to work that. Well, when my son got his job 40 hours a week, I said, I remember my first part-time job too.
Yeah.
Because I had to work 60,
Guys,
65.
Because as a grinder, I grind a lot myself, okay? I know it's a video game thing, but if he was that much of a grinder these days, he would have grinded his own spot in the top leaderboards on fucking Diablo or whatever the fuck. But instead, somebody else was playing his account. It is what it is. I'm not gonna debate that. Like the guy was somewhere else, and somebody was playing on his account. You're not a real grinder.
To buy my house and live the American
What?
dream.
Yeah.
People don't want to do that anymore. Some of the reason is the same reason they're poor. Poor life decisions.
Thousands of people fill the street today for the latest Fighting the Oligarchy tour. Senator Bernie Sanders making stops around the country, talking with crowds about, quote, how to take on the oligarchs and corporate interests.
And it's propelling
progressive
lawmakers to the front of the line, become the face of what amounts to Democratic Party resistance.
You're on the wrong side, folks. You're on the losing team.
Oligarchs just kind of like a small group of rich people like controlling the government, and that's pretty much what's happening with us now. The president was elected. You have a bunch of billionaires right behind him. It's literally right in the open. You can see it dramatically.
People will look back on this age and go,
That doesn't really mean much of anything, but it's all good.
how did this happen? And the truth is, a lot of us let this happen because we believed that fascism and authoritarian ideology could never take root in America, because we fought Nazis and the Italians in some far-off war in days long by.
And I will be damned if we're going to dishonor those men and women who fought and died for democracy by allowing Trump to become a dictator.
Dude.
I think overall...
Dude. When people give respect to the people that fought the wars and did great things and defended people, whatever, I don't think people give them the credit and like, yeah, these guys did that. I don't like when people piggyback other people's work and suffering. Yo, we did this, we did that. Brother, you just spawned in. Brother, you're a fresh spawn off the fucking level 1 island. You didn't do fucking nothing, buddy. You're a nobody. Who is we, buddy, man?
He has the right
Not
idea.
him. The other guy before. So I said Bernie Sanders was fine. Bernie was giving credit. The other guy was piggybacking. Different mindset.
Yeah, on everything he's been doing. I know there's a bit of controversy with like the whole Israel has the right to defend himself.
Israel has a right to defend.
When do I say we?
But I feel like he kind of understands the premise of like Palestinians are being.
Well, I think that he made those statements like in the immediate aftermath of October 7th. But if you look at him now, I think he's quite critical of Israel's response.
Correct, and I love that. So that's why I've been also still supporting him.
While Israel had a right to defend itself against the horrific Hamas terrorist attack of October 7th, it did not have the right to wage an all-out war against the entire Palestinian people.
But I know there's some people, especially my family, where they still just only view that one sentence he said and be like, oh, well, Bernie, I give up on him, which I don't think you should really, fully look at entirely as his whole picture, because he's been fighting since he's been young, and he truly knows what's right. So I'm happy he's doing the tour.
I mean, he's been fighting for the same thing since freaking whenever, right? He was born a long time ago. He's an older guy, an older white dude, and he actually sticks to what he believes, and that's not very common in politics, so.
And to clarify, this is not exactly a Bernie Sanders rally. It's the Fighting Oligarchy tour.
Correct.
So he's not planning to run for president during the midterm.
Chat.
Exactly, not at all.
Chat, why can't the United States just have all the basic shit, right? That isn't like too socialism, whatever the people say, like a health insurance and all that. Right? Just like the basic shit.
Just out here to be with some like-minded folks who
just
are ready to fight back against the
like
oligarchy.
starter pack.
Yeah, I'm a leftist. Like politically, I'm queer, so I would prefer to exist still.
What threat do you feel like the Trump administration poses to the queer community?
Outlawing HRT. Like I feel like they say it's just about like the kids on HRT and like stuff like that, but I really do think they're gonna make a push for just banning it outright, even for adults. It's just gonna get messy.
What do you think about Bernie Sanders?
I mean, what's not to think about him? He's on the right side of history, right?
Yeah. What do you think's going on right now in the country?
It's going to shit. Are you kidding me right now?
What are the top 3 terrible things they're doing right now?
Taking people off the street who are here legally, throwing them in the gulag over there in another country, particularly the one fella, I forget his name.
Kilmar Obrega Garcia, Maryland father who was mistakenly deported by the Trump administration.
That's outrageous. Due process is critical for all of us. The other I'd say is the tariffs. what a joke. Like, people are like, oh, Trump's a genius. This is all planned. No, it's not. He thinks he knows more than every economist in the world. He doesn't. Treasury bonds, they're critical to the success and well-being of our country. Those have gone haywire. When that happened, and that's why he responded.
I like when people say due process this, due process that. If a guy jumps through her fucking window and says, I'm a resident of this domicile, and they say, okay, well, I mean, you haven't proven this guy doesn't live here or whatever. I mean, wouldn't that be fucking annoying? Can you not say that'd be fucking annoying, no? Why is that? What should I say, question mark?
He realized, oh, my people are telling me that I'm killing our economy.
The president here announcing a 90-day pause on tariffs, though it's not clear specifically which countries this pause is going to apply to.
So that's a big one. Free speech in general, students on campuses. He's cracking down on legal firms.
I'm talking about that one guy. I don't give a fuck about that one case.
What country are we in? Is this Russia?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So if Bernie said something that resonated with you, would you be open to changing your mind about certain things?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm old, but not that old.
We have a corrupt campaign finance system which allows billionaires through their super PACs to spend as much money as they want to elect and defeat candidates who stand up for the working class.
Okay, I actually agree with that. I actually agree with that. Even though the system is pay to win, it is pay to win. There should be some caps to that. For sure.
Just like trickle-down economics doesn't work, it doesn't work for politics either. A lot of money is being spent at the top of the ticket going down, and then we roll the dice to see if it wins. I like to say when the working class is struggling, folks tend towards either left populism or right populism, and I think that the establishment of the Democratic Party didn't realize how much the working class was struggling. They decided to play their games, and they fucked around, and then they found out.
What can you tell us, for those who don't know, about how he was disenfranchised during the 2016 primaries?
I think one of the main factors is that, he was running as an independent.
Can you talk a little bit about what happened in 2016?
I mean, I was a super volunteer back then, so I was a baby organizer. The establishment of the Democratic Party was really, really scared of his economic populist message.
It's sad. It's being rigged against Crazy Bernie. Crazy Bernie's going to go crazy.
The Democratic Party is very hard against people that aren't going to be a part of the Democratic Party because they have a lot of funders that are for them.
Secretary Clinton was busy giving speeches to Goldman Sachs for $225,000 a speech. So the proper response, in my view, is we should break them up, and that's what my legislation does.
If Bernie's running as an independent and kind of going against
what is a super PAC?
Democratic Party to some extent, they're going to look past him and kind of do as much power to get rid of him, because at the end of the day, the Democratic Party is also not as progressive as you may think they are. I feel like Democrat and the Republican Party are pretty much identical, especially nowadays, where they're passing most of the bills that the Republican Party are even putting forth.
The corporate Democrats and the political right knows that left populists, that we are the enemy because we actually are offering the thing that the country wants.
Yo, what's up, people? With the fight against the oligarchy raging on, it's
dollars to me for the primary. No, as a hard no. Hard.
All right, back to the streets. Oligarchy, yes or no?
No, as a hard no. A hard pass for me.
How come?
Well, I just think we should live in a democracy where everyone has an equal voice, and when somebody's worth billions of dollars, it doesn't matter how your democracy is set up, they're going to have an undue influence. And obviously we need to undo Citizens United. We need to tighten campaign finance laws. It's not like he has billionaire backers that are in the tech industry.
Yeah.
He's for the people. Even the ads you see, he's like, hey, I'm here, I need some help, please donate.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
What is Citizens United for somebody unfamiliar?
It was allowed essentially unlimited money from corporations going into PACs and other political entities. You as an individual can only donate $3,500 to me for the primary, $3,500 for the general election. But large corporations could donate millions and millions of dollars to PACs that are quote unquote independent, but that shamelessly promote certain candidates and disparage others.
If you would like to become the most powerful person in Washington like Mr. Musk, just contribute $270 million to Trump's campaign.
But we also just need to make sure there are no billionaires. I would love to be worth $80 million. That sounds great. But the discrepancy needs to be throttled. We can't have people that are worth more money than Jesus Christ could have made if he was making $1 million a year since he was born. So I think the marginal tax rate, once you get into the billions, should be 100%. That money should just 100% go.
Okay. This guy's just brain dead. I don't know what this guy is doing with the mic. 100%, really, brother. What incentive does somebody have to go to work and to do better and to compete and to fucking go out there and achieve more for his company and whatever? If there's a $0 increase, there's nothing you can do. It's always these guys, always these utopian Andes who can forget about just human nature. People never put human nature in the equation on anything they do or say. It's just brain dead.
Go back to the public to do public good.
Oligarchs are people who have a serious addiction
Guys,
problem.
you put this guy in a what do you call it? A waiter. He's a waiter at a restaurant. He gets paid $20 an hour, right? If he knows he's gonna get more tips, he's gonna work harder. Okay, there you go. Boom. That's an incentive. That's what people do. That's just what people do. It's okay. I can get more if I do more, then I'll do more. Otherwise, there's no incentive. He's not gonna do better. Do you really think that if there's no tip, he's gonna do the same better work for every customer? Fuck no, you're crazy. You're done. Just don't bother.
I would say
Don't
too,
bother.
just that
Don't bother.
power. There's
Nope.
something about certain people. Well, they say
Absolutely fucking not.
what? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I've never been in that position to feel what that is, but it's a thing. It's been around for thousands of years.
You guys are putting dollar amounts because you're still missing the point. Human in nature. That's the point. It's not amount. It's not proportionate. It has nothing to do with any big, low amount. Nothing to do with it. It's human nature.
The question is, why do people want power?
I think for me, it's a mental flaw in their brains.
Do you think that the desire to dominate others does come from the fear of death?
It could be that they're trying to pass it down to other generations, possibly, like Trump's family.
Which is the fear of legacy dying. It all comes down to the idea of impermanence.
Yeah, it could very well be. I mean, Trump for sure. I mean, he'll be remembered. There's no doubt he'll be remembered in history. He thinks he's going to be remembered as one of the best. No, it's going to be remembered as the most evil, the most horrible, the most terrible,
How do you feel about the people out there who are always hating on Bakersfield? Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. But also, I get it. I've lived here a lot of my life, but there's good things here. The food is good. We've got lots of good people besides those Trumpies that are outside right now going crazy. I'm surprised there's not more. I'm a little embarrassed for them, honestly.
As I mentioned, we're still in Bakersfield, California. Don't be surprised, we were just inside. Now we're outside. And I want to establish a new Channel 5 rule. No hating on Bakersfield. If you hate on Bakersfield, you will be blocked. You will be sent to some kind of re-education camp. And we're going to use that Patreon.
Well, Bakersfield is kind of a piece of shit, though, low-key. I mean, high-key, it's a shithole.
We're here at Bakersfield, Centennial Plaza, Chevron, fuck BP, fuck Exxon. I don't want to say anything bad about the Dinosaur gas station because I like the merchandise and I want to get a sponsorship from them in time so I can take pictures with the dinosaur wherever I want and maybe get a dinosaur of my own. We got some Trump supporters across the street. They got a banner that says abortion kills children. They're having a vigil for all of the fetuses destroyed by the satanic cabal of George Soros funded Planned Parenthood abortionists.
Like I said, he's not Hitler, but like Hitler, he also uses economic populism in order to tie it to the Jews. Like with George Soros, when they claim that George Soros is secretly funding everything, like Hitler once claimed.
Do you know George Soros owns Hot Ones now?
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
He's just another rich person who's like vaguely left-leaning. I don't hate him, but I don't support him. It's sort of like a very neutral relationship, like, yes, thank you for supporting the party, the Democrats and such. You could be doing more.
Yeah. Who do you think is the true enemy?
Oligarchs like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and every hedge fund manager, every Wall Street stock analyst who only took into account the total financial value that their actions would bring them, and not the wider effect that it would have on Americans.
Best Mexican spot in Bakersfield.
Tacos de Huicho. It's off of Union Avenue. It's like this small little spot. It's not the best area of town, but it's fine. You might see a prostitute or two walk by while you're eating your tacos, but it's good. They're really good. And the salsa bar is good too. You can get as much salsa and toppings as you want.
I was at a 7-Eleven on the east side one time.
Yeah.
I saw a dude in a Raiders jersey rap battling a ghost.
No way.
You know what I mean?
That checks out. Like, that makes sense. I'm not surprised.
While I was midway through filming at the event, I found something I'd been desperately searching for quite some time.
Cocaine.
Which is an educated primary source to provide some input for my first environmental piece that I've been working on for the past 4 months, which is about the rapidly deteriorating situation at California's Salton Sea, an allegedly toxic man-made body of water that is currently drying up as a result of a few factors.
When I came here in 2008, this was all underwater.
Thankfully, the gentleman I was interviewing was actually a progressive congressional candidate with a ton of information about the situation at hand.
So I'm running for Congress in District 23, where Yucca Valley, Victorville, Redlands, Big Bear are.
What can you tell us about the ecological situation happening right now with the Salton Sea?
My background is actually an environmental scientist. I worked at NOAA before I started the distillery, and the Salton Sea has been one of my favorite places to go for solitude and relaxation, going to the slabs, going to the hot springs near there. It's just a beautiful, serene environment. Right now, the sea isn't draining, and it's evaporating and causing serious environmental hazards from agricultural runoff that gets into the soil, then the dust blows around as the water dissipates. So we need to find some kind of strategy to mitigate those environmental impacts.
They can save it if they want to. All of those toxins at the bottom of the lake floor, like while the water is on top of it, it's fine. And if they bring the water back, and a problem. But as the lake dries up, it's released into the air, and it's going to be such a huge disaster. It's not just going to affect us here in Bombay Beach. As the Salton Sea dries up,
So why don't they just put a pump at the bottom of the lake and just pump all the water out and just fucking say fuck it.
It's going to affect LA. It's going to affect like Palm Springs. All them old people, they're going to be dead. Nobody's going to be able to fucking breathe.
Lithium mining, if it's done responsibly, could potentially be that strategy. I'm not sure that the way it's going to be gone about right now is going to be in the way that's going to best protect the populations that do actually
they want
live
the
there.
water.
A lot of people don't realize that folks live around the Salton Sea still.
Yeah, we're doing a documentary right now about the Bombay Beach community, and they have the highest rate of
want that.
asthma of anywhere else in California because of the silt that's coming from the basin of the Salton Sea and drifting into the air. Here's a preview of our new documentary,
Oh,
Save
hell
the
no.
Salton Sea, which is available right now exclusively on our Patreon at www.patreon.com/channel.
Chat, is the rest of this just about the dust or not?
Yeah, I'm Kevin here at Bombay Beach. Desalination uses a lot of energy. There's a reason why.
And TV outlets that project news and information should be nationalized.
I think that there's a delicate balance between wanting to prevent government propaganda and wanting to prevent oligarchic propaganda. And so I think what I'd love to see is more listener-supported media, independent brands that are supported through democratic processes, not necessarily owned by the federal government. I mean, can you imagine what the Trump administration news network would look like right now? It's equally wrong when you have multi-billionaires that are owning, 80% of the media space, and they're able to push out whatever agenda serves their profit interests.
I do believe that there are control issues out there, I think, on both sides. I still think ultimately we, the American people, have to come together and work this thing out. And I think blaming this or blaming that is...
Well, if it isn't the mainstream media, you're a buster anyway. I don't give a fucking. If you're like a all day Fox viewer, all day CNN view, all day whatever, like a slop brother, you are like a guy with a big bowl and you be served dog shit and you're just smiling eating that dog shit.
I don't know how helpful that's going to be, but I think we need to come together and look for solutions.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best.